So you feel it, right? That undeniable magnetic pull toward him, a connection so deep it feels like it was written in the stars. But at the same time, he keeps you at a distance, locked away in an emotional fortress you just can't seem to break into. It's a painful dance of push and pull that leaves you feeling drained, invisible, and questioning this entire connection. What if I told you his distance isn't really about you? That it has nothing to do with his love for you, which is probably just as deep and real as your own? What if he's fighting a war, not with his feelings for you, but with himself? In this video, we're going to explore what the divine masculine is truly going through before he can finally surrender to love. The silent battles, the hidden fears, and the deep desires that are shaping his journey back to himself, and ultimately, back to you. Now, let's be clear. The whole twin flame idea, with its divine masculine and divine feminine archetypes, is a spiritual framework. It's a story that helps people make sense of incredibly intense and often difficult connections. You won't find it in a psychology textbook, and there isn't scientific proof that it exists. We'll be touching on real psychological concepts like trauma, but we're looking at them through this spiritual lens. So, take what resonates with you, and feel free to leave the rest. First, let's talk about that fortress he seems to be living in. That emotional wall that feels so personal. He didn't build it to keep you out. He built it a long, long time ago to keep his own pain in. Society has conditioned men to build their identities around strength, logic, and control. He's been taught that vulnerability is weakness, and that big emotions are things to be managed, not actually felt. His self-worth is tied to his ability to be the unshakable rock. And then, you showed up. Meeting you isn't just a romantic moment. It's a spiritual earthquake. The twin flame connection, as the belief goes, bypasses all the logical defenses he's so carefully built. It doesn't ask for his permission. It just floods his system with a level of feeling he's never known and, honestly, isn't prepared to handle. His entire internal operating system starts to crash. The love he feels is so huge and uncontrollable that it terrifies him on a subconscious level. He might not even call it love. It might just feel like anxiety, restlessness, or a powerful urge to run. From a brain chemistry perspective, we know that intense romantic love floods us with chemicals like dopamine, which feels incredible and can even be addictive. Spiritual believers feel that a twin flame connection cranks this process up to an extreme level. The point is, the intensity he feels is very real, whether you see it through a scientific or a spiritual lens. For a man who has spent his life suppressing his feelings, this internal surge feels like a complete loss of control. And to his ego, a loss of control is like death. So that distance, that running, it's a primal survival instinct kicking in. It's not a rejection of you. It's a desperate attempt to find solid ground when his whole world has crumbled beneath him. To really get what he desires, we have to walk through the battlefield in his mind. This isn't just one simple problem. He's fighting a war on multiple fronts. The ghost of past wounds long before you came along, his heart had already been through its own battles. Every heartbreak, every time he felt abandoned, every time he was told, "Boys don't cry." These are the ghosts that haunt him now. Many men in this position carry what psychology might call an avoidant attachment style. All that means is that they learned early on that expressing their emotions wasn't safe or didn't get them anywhere. So they built a fortress around their heart to survive. This isn't something he chose to do. It's It's a deep-seated defense mechanism. When you show up, your love is like a key that starts unlocking doors he has kept bolted shut his entire life. And behind those doors is a flood of unprocessed grief, shame, and pain. The connection to you doesn't just bring up feelings for you. It brings up all the feelings he's ever pushed down. He's not just running from loving you. He's running from the tidal wave of his own past that your love threatens to unleash. His guarded behavior isn't a sign that he doesn't care. It's a sign that he's carrying profound, unhealed wounds. He feels the pull toward you, but the path leads straight through his own personal haunted house, and he's terrified of what's inside. The terror of intensity and the runner dynamic. The runner and chaser phase is one of the most famous and most painful parts of this journey. If you're the chaser, it feels like a cruel game of abandonment. But if you're the runner, it feels like you're running for your life. The love between twin flames is often described as a mirror. You reflect back to him not just his light and his potential, but also his deepest fears, shadows, and insecurities. When he's with you, he can no longer hide from himself. This level of exposure is terrifyingly intimate. The spiritual narrative suggests his higher self knows that if he were to fully unite with you before he's faced his own demons, the sheer intensity would shatter you both. So in a strange way, his running is an unconscious act of protection. He's running to save himself from an emotional implosion he feels is about to happen. He might throw himself into work, find shallow distractions, or even block you. Anything to turn down the volume on the soul song that plays in his head whenever he thinks of you. And he feels the emptiness when he runs. The separation is just as painful for him, but his pain is mixed with total confusion. He doesn't get why he can't just get over you, or why no other person can fill that ache in his soul. This is his trial by fire. The pain of being away from you becomes the very thing that burns away his resistance, forcing him to finally face everything he was running from. He wants you more than anything, but he's afraid that getting you will require him to completely fall apart. And he's right. The old version of him has to go so the healed whole version can be born. The chains of societal programming. We can't forget the immense pressure of societal conditioning. The world gave him a very narrow script for how to be a man. Be strong, be logical, be successful, and whatever you do, don't be emotional. The twin flame journey asks for the exact opposite. It demands surrender, vulnerability, emotional honesty, and faith in what you can't see. This goes against everything he's been taught to value. His head is at war with his heart. His logical brain is telling him this connection is irrational and maybe even a little crazy. But his heart knows the truth. This internal fight is exhausting. He might try to treat this sacred bond like a normal relationship, only to find it refuses to be put in a box. This often makes him pull away, feeling like a failure because he can't figure it out or control the situation. He wants to be the hero who provides and protects. But this journey asks him to be the one who surrenders and heals. To his ego, that feels like a demotion. It feels dangerous. He's being asked to take off the very armor he believes has kept him safe his whole life. Before he can surrender to you, he has to win the war against his own programming. He has to learn that real strength isn't being unbreakable. It's having the courage to be vulnerable. The solution, what he truly desires and what you can do. Okay, so we've walked through the battlefield of his mind. What does he actually want on a soul level? beyond all the fear. And more importantly, what does this mean for you? The desire for unconditional acceptance and space. Underneath all the fear is a simple core desire. He wants to be loved for who he is right now in all his messiness. He's longing for a safe space where he can fall apart without being judged. He doesn't need you to fix him, heal him, or be his mother. He needs you to hold the faith while he learns how to heal himself. This is why he often needs space. The space isn't an escape from you, but a retreat to himself. In the silence of separation, he can finally hear his own soul without the overwhelming intensity of your presence. He needs to process, to feel, and to find his own inner guidance. The greatest gift you can give him is your understanding and your trust in his journey, even when it looks chaotic. He doesn't want your pressure. He wants your peace. He wants to know he can come back to your energy and find a sanctuary, not a courtroom. The yearning for inner union. The ultimate goal of this journey, for both of you, isn't just getting together. It's achieving inner union first. Before he can be in a healthy relationship with you, he has to create a healthy relationship with himself. This means learning to embrace his own inner feminine energy, his intuition, his emotions, his nurturing side, and balancing it with his healed masculine energy of presence, stability, and purpose. His journey is about becoming a whole person on his own. He's learning to get his validation and his sense of worth from inside himself, not from his job title or even from you. The spiritual belief is that because you share an energy field, the healing work you do for yourself directly impacts him. When you heal your own fears of abandonment, you help him heal his. When you learn to love yourself completely, you energetically show him how to do the same. His deepest soul desire is for this inner wholeness, because he knows it's the only foundation for a true, lasting union. The path to surrender, becoming the lighthouse. So what can you do? This is the most important part. The answer is both incredibly simple and incredibly difficult. You have to turn the focus completely off of him and fiercely onto yourself. Stop chasing. Stop analyzing his texts. Stop waiting by the phone. Chasing him just gives him more energy to run. It feeds the very dynamic you want to end. Your power isn't in pursuing him. It's in becoming the most radiant, self-loving version of yourself. Become the lighthouse. A lighthouse doesn't run up and down the coast looking for ships to save. It stands firm on its foundation and shines its light, and the ships naturally find their way by its glow. Focus on your own healing. Dive into your passions. Build a life that you are wildly in love with, whether he's in it or not. When you do this, two amazing things happen. First, you heal the parts of you that his behavior was triggering. Second, you become energetically magnetic. Healed, joyful, whole energy is irresistible. He will feel that shift. Your peace will calm his storm. Your wholeness will call to his. However, it is vital to approach this with your eyes wide open. This spiritual framework should never be an excuse to tolerate disrespect, abuse, or neglect. Your well-being is the top priority. If a connection consistently causes you pain and drains your energy, you have every right to protect yourself and walk away. A true sacred union should lift you both up, not drag you through endless suffering. This journey can be one of the most challenging and isolating experiences. I'd love to hear about your story. Share one thing in the comments below that really resonated with you. Your experience matters, and seeing what others are going through can be a powerful reminder that you are not walking this path alone. And if this has been helpful, Please consider subscribing and turning on notifications for more support on your journey. The male desire before twin flame union is a paradox. It's a deep yearning for a love that feels like home, wrapped up in layers of intense fear. His distance isn't a sign that he doesn't love you. It's a measure of the war he's fighting inside himself. He's battling his past, his programming, and his terror of the very love his soul is crying out for. Remember, he is not running from you. He is running towards himself. And your role in this is not to chase him down. It's to become the lighthouse that illuminates the path to wholeness for both of you. Trust his process. But more importantly, trust your own. Focus on your light, your joy, and your healing. On this spiritual path, that is the most powerful act of love you can possibly offer. To him, and most of all, to yourself. This journey isn't about finding your other half. It's about becoming whole, so that two whole souls can finally choose each other, not out of need, but out of a shared divine love.